What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another reaction video just for you. All right, y'all. So, as you can see by the title of this video, this is going to be another interesting one. This time, courtesy of Black Light Podcast with Don Lexi. Shout out to that brother. Go ahead and follow him now if you haven't done so already. Apparently, as I make this video, there's a TikToker that's going viral right now because she's saying that she doesn't want to date American black men. Those her words. Now, before I get into the video, you just have to know that when you say something like that nowadays on any social media platform, you know people are going to talk, especially black men. Black women are going to talk too, but more often than not, when you speak something like that into the universe and you put it online, people are going to talk. That should be of no surprise at this point. And she's real indignant regarding the comments that she's made in this particular video. And a couple of content creators have talked about it already. But in this case, I went ahead and went with Black Light Podcast for this one. So, like I said, this lady, she doesn't want to date American black men anymore. Why? Well, we're going to find out as I pull this video up, get my screen shared. Fair usage of the video, fair usage. So let's get to this one, y'all, because I got my thoughts.
Creator on TikTok says she's done dealing with American black men. Let's analyze what she had to say. Let's get right into it.
So I don't date American black men. I have never dated an American black man, and my reasons are quite simple. So a few days ago, I made a video about coffee dates, and I basically talked about how I would never accept a coffee date as a first date. I think it's low effort, and it's just not my thing. Surprisingly enough, I was genuinely surprised. 98% of the commenters and the people that were upset were American black men. So shocked.
Okay, let me stop right there. Okay, because I got a few things. I know I stopped it early, but let me speak on this for a bit. Okay, what's with the emphasis on American black men? Now, I don't know this woman, obviously, because I'm not on TikTok or anything like that. So to have this heavy emphasis on American black men, I would assume that she's of another nationality or something like that. If she was born in America and talking like that, that'll surprise me. But to have this emphasis on American black men, it has to be something else there. Okay. Secondly, but I'm going to say this, doing a coffee date is acceptable in terms of meeting for the first time and basically filling each other out to see if you like each other and to see if there will be the potential for a second date, in which the second date obviously will not be a coffee date. Okay. So we still in this entitled society where women of this ilk will be quick to say that you need to wine them and dine them in the highest order possible in order to be taken seriously and all of that stuff. And then what nobody is not mentioning all that much is that you can do all of this. You can go above and beyond. You can take them to the most expensive place out there. And then at the end of the day, they still not liking you. They like the experience at the restaurant and like the fact that you spend a gang of money on them. But at the end of the day, that's no guarantee that they're going to like you. They're going to like the money that you spend in the restaurant you're taking them to. But at the same time, it's no guarantee that they're going to like you at the end of the day. They'll ghost you and move on to the next. The point that I'm making is that even if you take these chicks to a nice restaurant, they could order an appetizer, they can order 2 or 3 drinks. They're going to make sure that they're going to order the most expensive thing on the menu. They're also going to order a dessert. There's no secret about that. You can do all of that, wine and dine them, and show them the best experience possible. But at the end of the day, they still could find some way to ghost you and basically say that they don't like you, or they wasn't feeling it, or I appreciate the type of guy that you are, but I just don't feel no vibe. But yet and still, when you was at that damn table, everything made it seemed like there was a vibe, but you just feel as though, okay, you was there for the meal, so now you're going to move on to the next one and do it to them. That's the exact point that I'm making here. Just because you wine them and dine them and take them to the best place out there doesn't mean that they're going to like you. Simply put.
Because I didn't think that video would land on their For You page, but it did. And hundreds of them, were crying on my shoulder over the fact that I would not drink bean juice on a first date with a man or with anyone. They were in my comments calling me all types of names, saying that I'm a gold digger and saying that I'm this and that. And then unprovoked, they started attacking me for my looks. By the way,
Okay, now I'm going to say this too. Now, she doesn't look bad, okay? So I'm not going to be supportive of anybody coming at her for her looks. I mean, you don't want to make it too personal like that, but at the same time, like I said at the top of the video, when you start out your video saying you don't date American black men, and I use that emphasis just like she did, I don't date American black men, you know people are going to talk. You know the fellas are going to come after you, and some of the sisters are going to come after you too. And I won't be surprised if she has a lot of women in her comments, specifically black women, co-signing this nonsense. And also, if you're feeling that way, why are you making this public? Why are you going on the internet with this? And again, I keep coming back to that. Everything does not have to be put on the internet. And why people still doing that to this day, I have no idea. If you don't want to date black men, fine. Don't date us. We good. And I'm gonna highlight that at the end again too. If you don't want to date us, we fine. All right. Trust me, none of the brothers are losing any sleep because you don't want to date black men. I mean, come on now.
that was so nice in that video. I did not insult anyone in that video, but they were insulting me. They were coming at me for my skin color, saying that I'm too dark and that I shouldn't have any standards.
And I don't agree with that. Let's keep
They
it
were coming
moving.
at me for my Afrocentric features. They were coming at me because I have an Afrocentric hairstyle in. Black American men honestly have this habit of attacking Black women for the way that they look, especially if you are a darker skinned woman or you have more Afrocentric features, they will attack you. So the fact that they came at me for my looks unprovoked is not surprising to me at all. So reading the comments and watching the stitches, it brought up a discussion between me and my parents about why I don't date American Black men. American Black men generally do not value courtship, traditionalism, or even marriage.
And that's a bold-faced lie. I'm going to say it right there. Black men do value those things. I know I do, and I'm pretty sure Don Lexi values them, and I'm sure other brothers who's commented on this video, as well as others who have seen this on other platforms, we value those things. The only thing is that most of y'all these days do not value those. Y'all value divorce more so than anything else, specifically everything else that you just named. But what she just said was a lie. But again, overall, what she just said, totally false.
And I'm not saying that all American Black men are like this, but a large majority are. They will berate you, break you down, and take advantage of you. I don't know why, but the sight of seeing a Black woman, a dark-skinned Black woman.
Why this emphasis on color? Okay, look, visually, she looks good. I'm not going to take anything away from her. She looks good, but why the emphasis on Black American men? Why the emphasis on skin color? You know, now, again, if anybody was in her comments talking about her skin color, I don't agree with that. If she's being roasted, she deserves to get roasted because, number one, you came to the internet talking about you don't date Black men. Well, in this case, you don't date American Black men. So you know people are going to talk. How many times I got to keep saying it? People are going to talk. You're going to get roasted largely from Black men, and some of the sisters are going to come after you as well. So no, this doesn't have anything to do with your damn skin color. You would still get roasted if you were light skinned. If you were brown skinned, you would still get roasted across the board. Your skin color has no role to play in this, no role at all.
Having standards really does bother them.
And bless my heart, Don Lexi ain't even cooked yet, and I think he about to cook now. Let's get to it. So again, shout out to him and fair usage for the video.
This is that same old stuff we always hear with Black women. They try to think that there's somebody policing their standards or that men have it out for them and want them to be able to be suppressed and so that they can't actually speak and that they're not allowed to have anything. They think that Black men get together and say, let's make sure that Black women don't get anything. Let's make sure that every time that they want something, let's see to it that they don't have it. And that's, of course, a delusional narrative. The truthful narrative is that Black men see how ridiculous this sounds, and Black men are interested in being involved with Black women.
Yep, he making some good points there. And like I'm just about to say, men, we're visual creatures, especially electronic visual creatures. So I'm pretty sure a substantial number of black men have seen this clip from this TikToker right here. And all you're doing is just putting, even though I have tons of issues with people putting everything online, when black men see a clip like this, all you're doing is just reinforcing the idea that, you know, we're going to go far away from you as possible. We won't even look your way. Now, of course, you may have a couple who may still try to get at her, but for the most part, nobody is going to look her way. And then if nobody does look your way, then whose fault is it going to be? It ain't going to be our fault. It's going to be your fault, because why? You don't date American black men. It's as simple as that, y'all. It ain't rocket science.
So that's why they're concerned with what black women have to say on the internet, because it's even been proven statistically that when black men make over $100,000 a year, we're more likely to end up marrying a black woman than anyone else.
Maybe it's because in their mind, nobody ever talks about this, but they believe black women, dark-skinned black women, deserve crumbs.
And here we go.
And nobody ever said
Tourism is
like
real,
that.
and they think that we deserve crumbs, that we shouldn't have any standards. I mean, I was getting so many messages and comments saying, you're dark skinned, why do you have all these standards?
Why all this emphasis on her being dark skinned? That has nothing to do with this. Again, if you was brown skinned, if you was light skinned, if you was any other color under the sun, that has nothing to do with this. You would still get roasted no matter what color you are, girl.
The only reason why that video got them really upset was because it basically told them to do better. And
no, if anybody was upset, it's because of these comments and the borderline arrogance that you have on this video right now.
Now, I definitely don't speak for any guy who is in her comment section saying, you're dark skinned. Why do you have standards? That's not the guy that I speak for. And I'm pretty sure all decent black men out there don't want to stand next to whoever that is. Just because one person who doesn't have any sense in their head says something ridiculous, that doesn't mean you get to blanket the majority of black men with a label. You don't get to decide that now all black men are toxic because one black man or a few black men in a TikTok comment section said that you were dark skinned, so you shouldn't have standards. A lot of the reason why a lot of black men say that a woman shouldn't be able to have standards is because what they're asking for doesn't match their dating value.
Facts.
That's the real reason why men are out here trying to bring women down a peg. It's because women are asking for things that 9s and 10s ask for. You all are asking for a man who makes 6 figures. He also has to have 6 inches. He also has to be a millionaire in a lot of cases. It's all these different criteria that men have to have, and it isn't clear what modern women have to actually bring to the table.
That's a good point. So in addition to what he just said, you got to have 6-pack abs. And of course, you can't forget this one. He has to protect. He has to provide. Yeah, we can't forget about that either. But he made some damn good points here. Let's keep it moving.
That's why at this point, you're seeing more black men on TikTok and other social media platforms being triggered when they hear black women say that a coffee date isn't enough. It's like, I don't even know you yet, and you're already trying to hold me to a standard. But what standard can I hold you to? Let's get back into it.
They do not take well at all to being told to do better, as you can clearly see. And it's because
y'all don't take too well to being told to do better either. So what point are you making, lady?
They are not required to. They are used to giving women nothing, giving women crumbs, but then receiving the world back. So when they were watching my video, they were so upset. They were like, oh, no. You want me to take you on a proper date? A proper date when all I'm used to is inviting women back to my house, or inviting women on a nature walk as a first date, or inviting women to my car to link and smoke? You want me to actually put in effort? No, I'm not used to that at all. They're literally in my comments saying, what makes you think you deserve a meal? You need to prove yourself. And when American black men say that you need to prove yourself, that just basically means you need to go through hell and back with him. They don't want to put in the effort because they're lazy, they are entitled, and they are cheap.
You lying ass bitch.
No, that just means that we want to see if we actually like you. That doesn't mean that we need to haze you for a couple of months to figure out if it's going to work out. Before I give my commentary, I want to go to a couple of comments that were in the comment section of this video because they were pretty interesting. The first one was actually affirmative to what she had to say. It says, proving yourself in quotations for a meal is crazy, and you're 100% correct. Again, there are other women who also are out here trying to downplay a coffee date. It's real out here, fellas. You have to take her to an expensive restaurant to be taken serious. And women are wondering why so many men are avoiding dating.
And like I said earlier, even if you do that, it's no guarantee that he's going to like you at the end of the date. Nobody wants to go above and beyond like that if all it's going to amount to is just you being ghosted and her moving on to the next person to perpetrate that on.
The next one says, I'm married now, but I preferred coffee dates initially. My time is valuable, too valuable. And if I didn't like a man, a coffee date was 20 minutes, dinner, but dinner is less than an hour. This is reasonable. A lot of times, if you don't know a person, you shouldn't even be willing to accept too grand of a gesture from them. It says a lot about you,
Right.
how much you're willing to accept from someone you don't know for nothing. It almost speaks to how willing you are to get to know them on a human level. No, the next one says, a coffee date is my absolute preference. I'm not doing anything but a coffee date or a smoothie. I don't want to spend more than an hour on a first date to assess if there's a vibe. Again, a reasonable standpoint from a coffee date. Women are always trying to act like men or black men are cheap for wanting to do something simple to get to know the woman. It's interesting that they're already trying to judge the guy and who he is and judge his character based off how much he's willing to spend initially upon meeting them. If a guy wants to take you on a walk or a coffee date, it actually implies that he actually wants to get to know you on a real level. And that's what should actually matter. But now what we're seeing out here is women trying to force men into expensive dates in the beginning. And the other point that I always have to bring home when we have these type of conversations is if you meet a woman in the beginning and she's trying to get you to go to a specific restaurant and you have to spend a certain dollar amount, it's important that you understand this. She doesn't like you. She doesn't really think that you're a valuable man. You're just something to do. You're something to use. You're something to play with. A woman who really likes you and is really interested in you would never require you to spend a certain amount of money just to be around her in the beginning phases.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna cut it right there. So again, shout out to Thon Lexi for that. He was cooking all throughout the video, especially the end right there. But I don't really have any additional thoughts on this one. Like I said, to that lady and to anybody else that feels the way that she do, American black men, we are good even if you don't want to date us. We are not losing no sleep over this. We still gonna keep doing what we do. So on that note, y'all, we come to the end of this video. And again, shout out to the Black Light Podcast with Thon Lexi. And again, follow him if you haven't done so already. If you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. Let me know what you think about this video overall. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves. And remember, not only is the power of the mind valuable, but American black men, my brothers, my fellas, even if you don't want to date us, we're good. We're going to always be good.